Hey guys, I thought I'd do something a little bit different. Change the scenery up a little bit. I'm in my backyard, and occasionally you can hear the frogs croaking. So we got a little nature sounds out there. Of course, you can also hear the interstate, maybe. We don't live too far from the interstate. I thought I'd do a handling video. I do not handle my teas very often. But I want to show you what you should do if you choose to handle your tarantulas. Well, first of all, you need to do your research and find out which ones have the most potent venom. And the ones that have the most potent venom, I do not handle. And also just the individual personalities of the spiders, Some, most of the time, little cattle albopilosums are docile, but occasionally you might find one that's not so docile. And or they can just have a moody attitude. One day they're fine with you handling them, and the next day they may not be fine. So what I do is I always test their mood first before I handle them. And if they show me that they don't want to be handled, then I don't handle them and just try again another day. So we're going to do that with this one here. This is my smaller of the two, little cattle albopilosum, Hunter and curly hair. This is a juvenile. Let me zoom in a little bit here, like that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my paintbrush here, and I'm going to touch its abdomen with the paintbrush and see what it does. And you can also touch the legs, but I would touch the abdomen first. They seem to be more sensitive about their legs being touched. So I'm going to touch the abdomen and see what it does, and see if it will allow me to handle it. So you just kind of do like, oh, did you just see that, guys? Yeah, did you see that? That should be an obvious answer to the question, should I handle this one? If it turns around and bites the paintbrush or bares its fangs, may or may not bite, but this one bit, then that should be an obvious answer to this question. No, you should not handle this one today. So we're going to respect that, and we're going to not handle this one today. So I'm going to remove the paintbrush, if I can. Now it's possible this one could just be hungry and not being defensive, but I don't want to risk it. And it's not feeding day today. So we're going to leave this one alone. So I wanted to show you an example of what a tarantula looks like when it does not want to be held, and there you go. I didn't think it would happen so quickly, but this one did. So while I'm here, I'm going to water the tarantula. Also, when you do handling videos, I highly recommend you have a catch cup handy. Some of them will get runny. I try not to handle the ones that are too runny, but sometimes they're unpredictable. So you just have to keep that in mind. So we're going to let this one go, and we're going to see if we can handle another tarantula, because this one gave us a resounding no. Alright, next up I'm going to attempt to handle my Grammostola porteri, the normal color form of the Chilean rose. This is the one I've had the longest, and I've held this one many times. But this one can also have its mood swings. It has allowed me to handle it, and it has also told me to back off. So we're going to see what mood this one is in today. Take off the top. Get my paintbrush ready. Gently touch the abdomen. And see what kind of reaction we get. Okay, kind of jerked a little bit. Now, and just to ensure that it's going to be okay, I'll sometimes stroke the abdomen like that. Let's see, now if they move away, they do that anyway. Well, let's see if she's going to bare her fangs. Yeah. She's a little moody. She probably would allow me to handle her, but let me test it again. Sometimes if you try again, they may be okay with it. With ones I'm very familiar with, I might be a little more persistent to see if they'll change their mind. I haven't held her in a while, so she's kind of out of practice being held. So let's see. I'm going to see if she's going to come over here. Okay. Let's see if she'll crawl up here. I'm a little more persistent with her, like I said, just because I know she is kind of like, okay, I'll let you handle me. It just depends. Like I said, you just have to know your spider really well. And a lot of times I'll just kind of put my hand in here and just let her crawl on my hand. And then I'll just kind of carry her up. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've held her. Yeah, she still won't let me pinch grab her. I only have one spider that I can successfully do that with. And hopefully we'll get to display that later. But she's not really being defensive. She's just been kind of, cautious. Like I said, it has been a while. Okay, I have her in my hand right now. Let's see if I can move this out of the way. Or at least put it over here, maybe. Here we go. Now, like I said, I've known her for quite a while, since 2011, so I'm already very familiar with her moodiness. And I can tell that she was, just being a little cautious, but she really wasn't being defensive. So I went ahead and gave in. Now, I've seen her defensive before, so I know what that looks like. She was not being defensive. So she was just kind of like, well, I don't know. So what I like to do sometimes is just kind of use the paintbrush to stroke her abdomen here. It kind of calms them down. Sometimes. Sometimes they'll just sit there and enjoy the warmth of your hand. So see, she's perfectly fine now. It just had been a while since I've held her. Now since we're outdoors, I have to take into account that it's not too windy. It is not windy tonight, so I don't worry about that, because the wind would obviously make the spiders more skittish. I would turn my ceiling fan off if I was indoors. So see how calm she is now? She's really calm. Yeah, some people really hate to see handling videos because they think that you're stressing out your teas. I don't know, when I see a tea like this, I don't think it's stressed out. Do you? It looks pretty relaxed to me. Like I said, I don't do it often. See, you can see how their legs. See, I'm even doing her legs. And she's fine with it. I'm using my new camera today, so I don't know how well it's coming out. Another thing you don't want to do is you don't want to move your hand above the spider, because that will definitely spook them, because they may think that's like a bird or something or whatever out to attack it, and so it will run away really fast, or maybe even bite. So I try not to put my hand over the spider when I'm holding it. You don't want to make any herky-jerky movements. You want to be very slow, very calm. Calm, cool, and collected. And my dog's outside circling the yard. So see? This is what a calm tarantula looks like. And like I said, there are times she definitely does not want to be held. Today she was, like I said, kind of either way. You know, most spiders are going to move a little bit when you poke their abdomen, but I knew she'd be okay with it, because like I said, I've seen her not okay with it, and I leave her alone then. But yeah, I've had her the longest. She's the one that got me into this hobby. Alright. Isn't she gorgeous? She, of course, got some webbing on me. Yeah, she's sweet. So I thought I'd just do a little video. Some videos I'll probably do outdoors, and then some of them I'll do indoors. There's actually a bug that just flew into her enclosure, so I'm trying to get the bug out. There we go. It's not one I would want her to eat. So, yeah. Sometimes I really think they like the warmth of your hand. I really do think that. It's so funny. I used to be terrified of spiders. I would never have dreamed doing this. I mean, this would have been my worst nightmare. And I got over my fear by doing lots of research on them, watching tons of videos of tarantulas, and I guess by doing that, that just kind of desensitized me. So now I'm no longer afraid of them. I mean, I respect them. So yeah, I'm not afraid of them, but I do respect them. All right, sweetie. She is so gorgeous. I guess she's full grown now. Because like I said, when I got her in 2011, she was a subadult. So I think she's a full-grown female now. I have no idea how old she is. Do not know. But they live a pretty good long while. Would you say what? Somewhere in the 20s, maybe? They're very slow growing too. And they are known for going through fasting periods. And I mentioned before in my other videos that she once fasted an entire year. She only would drink water, no food, for an entire year. She refused food. And then she finally molted. So, yeah, that's the way they tend to be. She eats pretty good now. Alright, well, she seems to be enjoying this, I guess. So, I think we're gonna go ahead and move on to a different one. I've never been bitten by a tarantula. Never have. I've had that asked a few times. Hope I'm not jinxing myself tonight. But nope, never have been bitten. I don't even think I've come close. So, no, I take that back. There was a time I was tongue feeding a very hungry tarantula, and I think I could have almost gotten bit then, but that would have been a hunger strike, not a defensive strike. But luckily, I was not bitten, so. Alright, cutie. Are you ready to go back inside? I got that little bug out, so it wouldn't have been much of a meal for you anyway. It was a little tiny thing. It wouldn't have been even worth it. Alright, guys. We'll put this one away. In fact, I'll show you even how I do that since I'm here. Put this lid down here, and remember, do not put your hand over the spider. So I'm like moving this back in here so you can see. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just lift her back up and just try to get her back. She'll be familiar with her home, so she shouldn't have much trouble getting out off of my hand, because she'll recognize that as her home by her webbing and all that. So, and then while I'm here, I'm going to give her some water. Okay. So yeah, that went well. Alright, let's see what other ones we got for tonight. Alright, next up we have my larger little cattle elbow pelosum, hunter and curly hair. And this one, just like the with the Grammostola porteri, this one most of the time lets me handle her. There was one time she did not. She bared her fangs at me, and of course that was a very rare occurrence for her to do that. But she may have been in pre-molt, I don't remember. But anyway, she did, and it kind of shocked me. But at the same time, I know tarantulas can be unpredictable. So I always try to keep that in mind, which is why I always test their mood first before I put my hand in there. So with this one, we're going to do the same thing. In fact, I don't want her to go into her hut, because then it'll be harder to steer her in the direction I want her to go. So I'm going to use this tool to keep her from doing that. But I want to also test her mood. Let's see. She did. Yeah, she seems okay so far. So far, so good. Now you see, that's why I don't just immediately, you know, put my paintbrush in there, stroke her a couple of times and say, oh, she must be okay then. I do it a few times. I think that was probably a hunger strike, but I'm going to try again. This one I've had a long time also. I think I got her the same year that I got the portery. So let's see what she does. Yeah. She's definitely not like she was that time that she was defensive. This, I think, is purely hunger. And again, I haven't held her in a while either, so. I'm not seeing any aggression yet. Let's see what she's doing here. Look what she's doing, guys. She was actually like trying, oh, now that was defensive. Did you see that? Did you see that? That was right there. That was aggression or defensiveness. She does not want to be bothered today. So we're going to leave her alone. I don't know if you actually saw her fang, but she did actually touch her fangs to the paintbrush. I do think that was a defensive move that time. So, we're going to try another day. But today she's saying no thank you. Alright, let's move on to another one. Alright guys, this one here is my Euophyllus species green, the green femur. This one has never displayed a defense posture. The only thing I have to watch out with handling this one is that this one can get a little adventurous. And this is a female. This is not an adventurous male. This is a full-grown female. But she does like to be on the go. So, I do have my catch cup handy in case she gets a little too adventurous for us. And but I'm going to try her and see what mood she's in today. So she's a full-grown female, and let's see, I'm curious if I even lift the lid off, if she's going to start moving around. Oh man, doing that made kind of a glare, didn't it? So guys, please bear with me. This is all experimenting. I'm using my new camera, and I haven't ever done a handling video outside in the dark with just this artificial lighting here, so bear with me. I'm just gonna see what works and what doesn't work. Alright, so I know it's the enclosure's kind of it's not very clear, but maybe you'll at least get to see something. So let's see, we'll see if she's gonna be in the mood for me. I'm going to stick my paintbrush, see her abdomen's right there, so I'm going to touch her abdomen very lightly. And just like with the albo pilosum, she's allowing me to do so without a fight. Now that again was a hunger strike. That was not defensive. I know they look similar, but I know my teas, my own personal teas. So this one has a voracious appetite too. But I'm going to try again and see if maybe this one will be okay. Let's see. It's okay. Come on. Sometimes when you stroke their abdomen, you'll get their hairs on the paintbrush. You can see a little bit, well, it's a little blurry, but you can see the hairs. I do not handle old world tarantulas at all. Only new worlds. And I don't even handle all new worlds. Some of them are very defensive, and I will give you an example of one. You do not want to handle a Phormictopus cancerides. It is a new world, but it acts like an old world. So even though their venom's not as potent as an old world, their attitude is very defensive. I will never handle a P. cancerides. You can just forget that. Alright. Well, let's see if you're going to come up and come greet us. So far, so good. I think that was just kind of a hunger startle thing. So, I'm going to put my hand in here and see if she will crawl onto it. She's like, that feels warm. I'm not sure I want that right now. Come on. I know you like to get on my hand. You get up here. Come on. See if you'll actually come out of your enclosure and then get on my hand. She's done that before. Let's see if she'll do it again. Like I said, she's the adventurous type, so she's more willing to do that. Here she goes. She's got a web line behind her. She doesn't want to hold my hand. She's like, nope, no thank you. Oh, come on, you like it. She doesn't want to. Now look at you. Y'all are probably like, where'd she go? As I said, she is the one that likes to be adventurous. So I had to put her back in her enclosure. So yes, she is still my little adventurer. She was not being defensive that time she turned around. That was definitely a hunger strike, and maybe just kind of like a startling. It just startled her. But yeah, she did not want to get on my hand. She did not like that at all. She did not like the warmth of my hand like the porterie did. So we're just going to leave her in there because she's a little too adventurous for me. Alright, so I'm just like, I'm just showing you different personalities. And they're all different, let me tell you. Alright, we're going to move on to something else. Alright guys, here is probably my most docile of all my tarantulas, of the full-grown ones anyway. This is my Grammostola pulchripes, the chocolate golden knee. Well, actually, I don't think this one's full-grown yet. But, as far as my bigger teas go, this is probably my most docile one. This is the one I can pinch grab, but even though this one has proven to me lots of times that it is docile, doesn't mean it will be tonight. So, just like with the others, I'm going to test the mood first. So, let's see. Nothing yet. That was a startle. She's not angry, but she is startled. When I say angry, I technically mean defensive. I just say angry. So I'm going to try again. Haven't held her in a while either. Okay. See if I can get her to climb up. If not that, I may try to pinch grab her. But I'm just testing her mood. So far, so good. Okay. Trying to get it where we can see this. Okay. Test her a little bit more, because I do not want these teas to make a liar out of me today and bite me. Okay, so far so good. So far she is still proving to be the most docile of all of the ones tonight. So I'm going to try to pinch grab her. I'll try to do it like here and here is where I like to put my 2 fingers. So let's see if she's going to allow it. And if not, I'll move my hand quickly out of the way. Look at that. She's my sweetheart. See? She let me pick her up. She's definitely the sweetheart. So yes, when she whipped around like that, that was just her being startled. And she has been eating pretty well lately too, so. I'll make this chair there. So yeah. Get my paintbrush here. Let's see if this chair is going to be steady. I'm going to move this. Let's see if I can get this this tripod to work the way I want it to work. There we go. There. I have a lot of other New Worlds in my collection. I have Nandus, I have Lasiodora, and I will not handle them because they are way too skittish and way too hair flicky, and even defensive, especially the Nandus. The Nandus are very defensive, so they do not get held. I have Pamphobedius. They're not held either because they're too skittish, and I would not want fangs that large to sink into my skin. Although right now they're only juvenile size, but still, just not going to handle them. So yeah, I mean, there's some New Worlds I will not handle in Acanthoscuria because of their voracious appetite. So yes, Grammostolas I'm more willing to handle. Brachypelmas or little cattles. I'll handle them. And Aphonopelmas, I'll handle them. Or more willing to handle all of these that I'm mentioning. Again, like I said, I test their moods all the time, but I'm just telling you the ones that I tend to handle are those. I do not handle Thrixopelmas because they're also very skittish and hair flicky. So, you know, just do your research and just see what their typical behavior is. And then just know your individual spider. See, this one here loves to sit on my warm hand. Loves it. Absolutely loves it. It's like I put him to sleep or something. Yeah, this one here is a sweetheart. In fact, the guy who sold me this one, I got this one at a reptile show. He was hesitant to sell this one to me because she's so sweet, and he just loved how sweet she was. But he went ahead and sold her. He was in fact handling her, I believe, when I bought her. So yeah. So yeah, some New Worlds I'll handle, some I don't. I will not handle a green bottle blue because of their voracious appetites, and they're very skittish. But yeah. This Pulchripes is a sweetheart. So I'm trying to decide, do I like doing these videos at night? I mean, it's something different with this artificial lighting, but I'm thinking I may prefer to do these in the daylight because you could just see their coloration better in the daylight. I mean, this LED light here is not really showing the colors real well just because of the shadows, you know, and the nighttime sky. So it was just something different, but I think from now on I'm going to do them in the daytime. I was hoping the frogs were going to be more vocal tonight, but they were earlier, but they're not now. So I was hoping we can get some nice frogs in the background, but they decided to be quiet now. So yeah, this one's my sweetie. Look at that. She'll just sit there. Now, sometimes she'll move around. Let's see if she will. She's kind of feeling around. She probably feels a little bit of the breeze. It's not, like I said, it's not windy out here, but their hairs are so sensitive. They can feel every little thing. But I would not come out here on a rainy night, obviously, and not on a windy night. But yeah, this is the calmest one of them all, huh? She would sit here forever if I let her. I could tell her claws are out because I could feel them. They don't hurt at all. It just kind of feels, you know, sticky, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, you just have to learn how to read your spiders, do your research and stuff. Some people are totally against handling. They treat it as if you're abusing your animals by doing that. And I'm like, I don't think so. I mean, I've seen videos of people poking at their spiders, you know, in a teasing kind of way, not in a, you know, it was just more of a just to get an arousal out of them, you know, to get them defensive and everything. And they were just kind of scaring them and poking them. And, you know, it wasn't gentle. I think if you're gentle, it's okay. You know, I look at it this way. If the spider will not stay on your hand, my camera died and I didn't know it. I was just rambling away. But anyway, I don't know where my camera cut off, so I might repeat myself here. But I was saying that you can say that this tarantula does not mind being in my hand. Does not mind it at all. If they start to crawl off of your hand, that either means they don't want to be there because they're nervous, or something else has caught their attention and they just want to go look around. So I think it's safe to say that this one likes being on my hand, or is at least tolerating it. So I don't call this abuse. Some people think you should never hold your tarantulas because you could be stressing them out. And I say, well, you know, it just depends on what you do with them. I mean, I've seen videos of people poking on tarantulas just to get them, you know, and I mean like poking at them kind of like hard and like in a scary way, you know, not a gentle way. Now, I don't like that, and I won't do that. I mean, if you do it gently, it's okay, but I don't like to see people poking on them. You know, in a way that's scaring them. You know, I don't like that. Just to get like an arousal out of them. You know, just to make a good video. You know, and I'm like, oh, looks like you're poking them kind of hard. Quit, you know. Just be gentle about it. And I look at it like this. If I get bitten, it's my fault. It's not the spider's fault. So, right? Right. I don't think this one would ever bite me. Alright guys, I think this is all with this one. She's had the spotlight long enough, but she's just so sweet. I just hate to put her down so quickly, you know. She's a sweetie. And they, you know, typically the poker peas can be pretty moody too, but I can't even remember if she's ever given me a defense posture. Maybe once at most, if even that. I'm not even sure she ever has. And she's the only one that will tolerate pinch grabbing. So, she's the only one I will do that to. She must be used to it, I guess, or she's just so laid back she doesn't care. Alright guys, I apologize if the videos were kind of, I guess, not very clear, or, you know, just not good camera work. I'm just experimenting with this new camera. I'm just seeing what the lighting is like out here, and I think I'm really just going to prefer doing these in the daytime because you'll be able to see all the colors a lot better than this. So I guess that'll be it for now. Thank you guys for tolerating this experimental video. And hopefully we'll get some rehousings. We got at least maybe 2 or 3 more rehousings, I think, and we might do some more handling videos later. But that's it for tonight. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your kind comments. I appreciate you. Alright, bye.